Alright guys, I've got an updated slider setup video here. Wasn't really expecting to make one of these, but there's been so much love for my first set of sliders that I think there'll be some interest in a follow-up video. So let's go through the all-important numbers first, and then we'll talk about some other details afterwards. So simulation settings, you want to go on gameplay type custom, wind effects at medium, weather effects on, sprint speed 31 for the user, sprint speed 32 for the CPU, acceleration 54 for the user, acceleration 55 for the CPU. Shot error for the user 56, shot error for the CPU 60. Pass error for the user 50, pass error for the CPU 53. Shot speed for the user 48, shot speed for the CPU 48. Pass speed both user and CPU at 46. Injury frequency for user and CPU 60, while severity is at 25 for both. We've got the goalkeeper ability set at 55 for the user and the computer. Marking is set at 75 for both. Run frequency 35 for both. Line height 55 for both. Line length 30 for both. Line width at 55 for both. Fullback position at 75 for both. You've got the power bar, which I would always keep at 50. And then first touch control error for the user at 77, for the computer at 76. Then if we move along to the CPU sliders, the AI behavior has to be on custom, with the tackle aggression at 99, the build-up speed at 99, shot frequency 67, first touch pass frequency 70, crossing frequency at 85, dribble frequency 55, and skill move frequency at 75. Now, it must be said at this stage that I'm not on the most recent update for FC 25. However, I still think that these sliders are very relevant, because what we've seen with the most recent updates is EA focus on just a couple of areas of gameplay rather than the entire picture. So I would suggest, if you are fully up to date with patches, to increase the pass error for the user just slightly to about 52. Pass speed has also been adjusted, so I would decrease that to about 44 for both the CPU and yourself. The thing is, we all play this game slightly different, and I want my sliders to be a foundation for you guys to work on and not the be-all and end-all. So there definitely has to be a bedding in period. You've got to test these sliders out, and if something doesn't make sense, just slightly tweak. Say, for instance, if your players in attack are not running as much as what you'd expect, then just slightly move the run frequency up a tad bit. I think I said it in the last video, you're trying to nerf some of your strengths playing this game, whilst also making it slightly easier on yourself with the weaknesses that you have in the game. So at the end of the day, you are facing difficult opponents, but it's not back-breakingly hard. So these sliders are very close to the simulation setup that is pre-built into the game. I've been very, very complimentary about it, but I've just tweaked it to be a tad bit more difficult, and that difficulty comes from the lower sprint speed, the lower acceleration on the user side. If it is still too easy, I would drop the acceleration a little bit back before you touch the sprint speed. I think acceleration is a big one. The CPU is a little bit slow to certain things going on the pitch, so acceleration really does help with the computer's flaws. I've also seen comments recently asking me, how to cross a ball in, how to score headed goals. So for that, we are going into the game settings on the main menu to show you what I've got on the gameplay. Now, my assisted headers are off. That means my headed shooting is manual. It's very difficult, but once you get used to it, it kind of comes naturally. I would imagine that you can change this preset to custom and have assisted headers to help you get your shots on target. One more thing that I believe makes this game far more realistic is turning off time finishing. The quality of the shot that you're about to take should be determined by the player's space, his composure stat, his finishing stat, and certainly shouldn't be reliant on you double tapping the shoot button. This shouldn't be a rhythm game at all. Cross assistance. This is the big one for me. You've got to have this on semi. With this option, you can really pinpoint areas of the box to land the cross into. It's mostly down to how long you hold the cross button for. However, that in itself will not get you more headed goals. I do see it a lot on pro clubs. Wingers trying to stand up balls to the penalty spot. It really does kill the forward's momentum, and that's not going to get you many goals. You've got to try and work towards the momentum that your striker is building in the box. If they are making a run, you've got to try and aim like 2 yards in front of them. That'll will them to keep the run going, and most of FC's jumping mechanics really rely on momentum to win-headed balls. Take a look at anybody's gameplay, and unless there's like a massive height difference, the player that wins the ball is usually the one that gets the better run towards it. So that is the advice that I would like to give to you. There's a lot of people that get caught up in trying to cross to the player, when in fact, if there's a run being made into the box, you want to aim it just a little bit off course. Basically, guide the striker into a proper shooting position. And I think that covers all the game settings that could make your life a little bit easier, and just in general make the game more fun and realistic. That's the reason why we're making this video in the first place. So to recap, these are my current sliders. I'll just flick through them now, and then switch over to the CPU changes that I've made. If you are on one of the more recent patches, I would strongly suggest you upping the pass error on the user side, as EA have tried to tackle the pass responsiveness in the game for the last few months. Tell me what you think of these sliders down below. I really do hope it makes career mode way more enjoyable for you guys. Any suggestions on changes, I'm very open to hear them in the comments section. And if there are any slight tweaks, then I will tell you in the description box. It'd be really helpful if you guys gave this video a like and subscribe to the channel. There's loads of examples of these sliders working in my own career mode, so go and give my current series with Chesterfield a good gander. Take care, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.